St. Mary's College, the 172nd commencement ceremony. Please rise for the national anthem, and please remain standing after for the invocation. The national anthem will be sung by graduating senior Grace Hazy.
What a beautiful day. In so many ways. Good afternoon. I am Mary Burke, Chair of the Board of Trustees of St. Mary's College. It is my privilege to welcome all of you to our 2019 commencement ceremony. It is a day of mixed emotion for all here, I know. Graduates of the class of 2019, I suggest you enjoy, definitely celebrate, and thank your family, friends, and members of the St. Mary's community who helped you on your journey to today. Soy Mary Burke, y los días doy la benditos a nombre de los regentes de St. Mary's. Gracias por apoyo y criar a su hija. Empezamos la ceremonia de graduación con una oración. We will now begin our ceremony with the invocation. God of all people, we gather today to remember what you have done in our lives and to celebrate a milestone in the lives of the graduates of St. Mary's College. We give you thanks for the graces you have bestowed upon the women and men of the class of 2019. As each person receives their diploma, may they remember that their Holy Cross education has prepared them to make a difference in the world. We pray in gratitude for the Sisters of the Holy Cross, our founders and sponsors, for all families who have made this education possible, and for all trustees, faculty, and staff who support the mission of our college. Spirit of wisdom, guide these graduates to use their St. Mary's education to be a strong presence in the world, to signal another way of being, and to always act with integrity. Filled with the compassionate and courageous heart of Mary, may we all share in the vision to make God present in all that we do to build your kingdom. We ask this through our God. Amen.
Hello. I just am so thankful for this beautiful, beautiful day. One of the first things that happened when I took this position was a discussion with this class about where graduation would be. And so I'm so thankful we can be outside, which was their earnest desire. So I'm very thankful for that. I am Dr. Nancy Neck-Vassil, the interim president of St. Mary's College. I, too, along with Mary Burke, would like to welcome you to these 2019 commencement ceremonies. This day is the culmination of 4 years of hard work on the part of our students and many sacrifices on the part of their families. This is our opportunity to celebrate these accomplishments and send these new graduates off with all the pomp and circumstance they and you, the families, deserve. We are honored by the presence of our dignitaries on the platform party, members of our Board of Trustees, the faculty, Sisters of the Holy Cross, as well as grandparents, parents, friends, and loved ones of the class of 2019. Thank you all for coming, and enjoy this wonderful celebratory day.
The Lumen Christi Award is presented each year to a member of the senior class who is recognized by the college community as an outstanding woman of faith who has lived its mission. She has excelled in leadership and loyalty and has had a profound effect on the St. Mary's community. The Lumen Christi Award is the highest award the college confers on a student. Today, we honor a senior who is hardworking, compassionate, and scientifically curious. She exemplifies the values of St. Mary's through leadership, scholarship, faith, and service. She has brought people together in meaningful ways through interfaith dialogue and scientific inquiry. On campus, she has been an active participant in her studies as well as in her faith. As a student in the 5-year dual degree in engineering program with the University of Notre Dame, she is pursuing a career that will allow her to make a difference. In the summer of 2017, she traveled to Nepal to conduct research on the PADS project with the goal of developing simple, inexpensive, paper-based tests that could be used by almost anyone, anywhere, to screen for substandard or counterfeit pharmaceuticals. She also traveled to China to conduct further PADS research for her senior comprehensive project and met with many medical experts to gain greater understanding of quality controls for medicine in China. Although she is not Catholic, she has fully embraced the Catholic mission of St. Mary's. She attends Mass with fellow bells, seeks to learn more about the Catholic faith, leads Bible study, and is involved in Better Together, the campus interfaith club. In the residence hall, she served as a ministry assistant and provided outreach and pastoral care to others. She also helped organize an interfaith conference here at St. Mary's and has sparked meaningful discussion about religious diversity on campus as well as in the community. Always seeking to make a difference through her campus involvement, she has inspired both her peers and her mentor. An administrator said of this student, "She is an outstanding member of this community, a leader, a woman of faith, and a scholar who embodies a deep faith, a lively intelligence and compassion for others. She is a true Lumen Christi." It is therefore with deep gratitude and tremendous joy that we honor Heather DeLallo, this Light of Christ, with the 2019 Lumen Christi Award.
I just wanted to say thank you real quick to my entire family for supporting me throughout this whole process, for always being there for me, always pushing me to grow, to succeed, for all the mentors that I've had here, all the friends I've developed. I am just so grateful for St. Mary's and the home that it has become for me, and I am just so grateful for receiving this award. Go Bells.
I now invite Natalie Dock, the first of our 3 valedictorians to address you today, to come to the podium.
In the year 1860, the makeup of this country was changing. Explorers expanded westward, politics shifted as the election campaigns gained traction, and tension in the country strengthened as citizens grappled with questions relating to the equality and freedom of all people. The Civil War was on the horizon. In the midst of this, joyous celebrations of milestones continued. In fact, at that time, a woman just a few years younger than all of us graduates began to write her own commencement address. That woman was named Mary Dennis. In 1860, Mary Dennis was only just graduating from high school at St. Mary's Academy in South Bend, Indiana. In her address, she spoke of her beginnings at St. Mary's. She came to this school as a young girl and graduated as a woman who received much more than an education of the mind, but of the spirit as well. More than a century later, St. Mary's is still today true to this mission. It is a place that does not consider the education of the mind to be paramount to the education of the heart and soul. And it is a place that is filled with and supported by people who instill a sincere sense of gratitude in all those who choose to spend their time here. Mary Dennis conveyed this gratitude in her address, offering thanks to religious leaders who inspired the faith of students, instructors who cultivated both the heart and mind, parents who offered unending love and support, and companions who made leaving this school so bittersweet. As I reflected on her gratitude, I thought back to a conversation I had with a professor in the spring semester of my junior year as I was toying with the idea of graduating early. I made a comment that regardless of my decision to graduate early or not, I would definitely come back for the graduation ceremonies. Not only did I want to, but my mom would not have it any other way. Agreeing, she remarked that graduation really is not just about us, all of the women sitting in front of me, but that it is for others as well. And it is. There are so many people that we must thank for helping us reach this very moment. There is not enough time, though, nor is there a best way to express the gratitude that each of us feels for these people. So simply put, To these people, and for their vision, guidance, and compassion, thank you. Today is as much your day as it is ours. St. Mary's has taught me, though, that gratitude is not only to be offered at the people who help guide you along the way, but that it is also to be directed at the moments which define some part of who you are to become. My time here has been filled with those moments, but as I considered how I wanted to share my gratitude with all of you today, one moment in particular stood out to me. In my first semester at St. Mary's, I took the introductory course for Communicative Sciences and Disorders, taught by Susan Latham. As the time came to take our second exam of the semester, Dr. Latham must have sensed our stress from the look of panic on our faces. So before we started the exam, she asked us to pause. And she told us to view this exam as an opportunity. It was not her opportunity to make us struggle, despite what we all may have thought in that moment, but it was our opportunity to show her what we knew, to show her that we read, took notes in class, and gained from her anecdotes. It was our opportunity to show off. Now, of all the things I knew I would learn at St. Mary's, learning to see an exam as something positive, no less an opportunity, was not one of them. My roommates who watched me study and then study some more could probably attest to that. But Dr. Latham is an exceptional example of what it means to educate the mind while not forgetting the heart. She reminded us that it is a privilege to attend a college like St. Mary's and to take exams that further our journeys towards higher education. That day, she taught us to seek gratitude even in moments that challenge us, and to find opportunity for growth and strength when we feel least capable of doing so. I cannot tell you how many times I have referenced this moment as a student and even recently as an alumna. As a student, I relied on these words not only during finals week and summer job hunts, but also when the Holy Cross elevator broke not once, not twice, but at least 3 times our sophomore years. What a great opportunity that was for all of us to show the stairs a little gratitude while practicing patience and getting a little more exercise. As a beginning clinician in the Judd Layton Speech and Language Clinic, I again thought of Dr. Latham's words as I nervously prepared to meet with my first client. Reflecting on that moment from freshman year, despite all my fears, I was reminded of how far I had already come and of how unbelievably lucky my classmates and I were to be meeting with clients as undergraduate students. So even though I know some of us face some interesting moments in our sessions, as Elizabeth will tell you, all of us were still beyond grateful to St. Mary's for giving us that opportunity for personal and professional growth. And when I graduated in December, I began to rely on these words in my everyday work as a one-on-one aide to a little boy with autism. In my work, I face many moments of uncertainty, where I wonder if I'm making a difference in his life or if I'm bolstering his progress. At times, I can become frustrated or overwhelmed by how much I still have left to learn. In those times, I often have to stop myself and remember to think about the little moments that I love about each day, to think about all that I get to learn and experience in my work rather than all that I still have to learn in my career. I get to observe and learn from the same healthcare professionals I will soon work alongside as a speech pathologist. I get to put my knowledge into practice while learning from my mistakes. I get to watch and take pride in my students' progress and in the joy of his endless smiles and hugs. This gratitude reminds me that I am still learning and that what I am learning from my work will only serve to make me a better speech pathologist in the future. After we travel down the avenue one final time before leaving the security and structure of our lives at St. Mary's, we will all face challenges unlike those we have faced before. They will likely be a bit more daunting than a single exam or a broken elevator, and I'm sure it will not always be easy to view them as an opportunity in the moment. Still, I hope we choose to find even a glimmer of gratitude. I hope we all choose to channel our fears of our unknowns and uncertainties into a sense of gratitude for how they will foster growth and purpose in our lives. So following the lead of Mary Dennis, let us not forget to thank the many people who made today possible. Without them, we wouldn't be who we are or where we are right now. But let us also remember to reflect gratitude on the moments, good and bad, that paved our way here. We should be grateful for who we are today as much as we should be grateful for who we will become because of these moments. And let us keep this attitude in mind as we move forward, allowing both future triumphs and setbacks to humble yet empower us. I hope all of my fellow graduates feel an immense amount of pride for all they have accomplished, and remember to thank themselves for working so hard to reach this milestone. Remember to believe in yourselves and in the power of your voices. And remember to always be grateful for being St. Mary's women, because today is the beginning of so many great opportunities to show the world what it means to live as a St. Mary's woman. Thank you and congratulations, everyone. It is now my honor and pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Monica McGrath.
I have found that my St. Mary's experience was not shaped by the beautiful campus buildings or even by the content of my courses. My experience was shaped by the many wonderful people I have connected with and who have helped me to grow. I could thank all of the people who have shaped my college experience, but in that case, I would run out of time to say anything besides a long list of names. Rather, I will trust that you know who you are, and I thank you for your love and support. My first St. Mary's experience was when I was a freshman in high school. After my family went on an admission tour with my older sisters, we went for a walk around campus. We were preoccupied with conversations about colleges until we noticed a yellow tennis ball which had been hit outside of the court. We stopped for a moment to throw it back to the woman who was playing. We learned that she was an alumna of the college who returns here to play tennis and continue experiencing this St. Mary's community. As we spoke with her, I was overwhelmed by a sense of peace. As odd as it seems, this was the moment I made my decision that this was where I wanted to be. Like this alumna I met during my first St. Mary's experience, as we move forward, we have the opportunity to share our love for St. Mary's with those we meet. Regardless of where your next steps take you, the avenue will always lead you home. Filled with nerves, hope, and excitement, I made an extremely long list and packed up to move into my dorm. Before my parents even left, I felt immense homesickness. I was embarrassed to tell my friends, and I was suffering alone. I felt that God called me to St. Mary's, and yet once I got here, I was filled with pain. I was stuck in a pattern of self-pity, but I had no idea the love and support that was in store for me. We have one another, our friends, families, mentors, and professors to help us through the difficult times. Turning to these people for help is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of strength. Regardless of the challenges you have faced during your time at St. Mary's, this community and our friendships are what have brought us through those difficult times. St. Francis of Assisi said, "A single sunbeam is enough to drive away many shadows." This is exactly what I have found here. I encounter God's love through this community filled with people who do not hesitate to share a smile or kind word. These small acts of kindness have been a beacon of light in times of personal or academic challenges. We have all met friends during our time at St. Mary's that have come at just the moment we needed them. My most notable experience in gaining friendship began one Monday evening during my first year. In a moment of prayer, I reflected on my homesickness. I couldn't understand why a good and loving God could call me to this place of heartache. However, I realized that there certainly must be a St. Mary's student who is suffering much more than I could understand. Without anyone in particular in mind, I prayed for a student who was suffering with severe anxiety and depression. 2 years later, after a random room placement in Holy Cross Hall, I met one of my best friends. In getting to know her, I learned that she suffered with severe anxiety and depression during her first year, and that perhaps she was the student I prayed for 2 years earlier. We both trust that God intervened in this room placement and helped us to connect. There are no words sufficient to describe this friendship. She lifts me up and helps me to be a better version of myself. Our experiences at St. Mary's have also been shaped by our instructors, who have supported our learning through excellent teaching, assistance in office hours, research, and advising. These instructors have shaped our experience by expecting excellence in our work. Much as Mary Dennis said to her instructors in 1860, "Your guidance is still extended over us, that though in person we are far separated, in spirit we are as one." As we begin this next phase in our lives, remember that your St. Mary's education will always be with you. Our St. Mary's community is dynamic. We will change and we will grow. Although our time at St. Mary's has come to an end, we have an opportunity to share this joy with all of the people that we meet. Perhaps we might also hit a tennis ball outside of the court and help someone else decide to attend St. Mary's. The 4 years we have spent here under this bell tower have shaped us into St. Mary's Women, yet our title as St. Mary's Women remains with us for the rest of our lives. As Mary Dennis said in 1860, "Here we came to gather strength." I believe this strength is part of what makes us St. Mary's Women. For me, being a St. Mary's woman means living with an open heart and treating everyone with love and respect. It means creating a community where all people feel accepted for being the truest version of themselves. And it means being the best friend, sister, daughter, granddaughter, coworker, and person that you can be today. It means being open to change and self-improvement. It means being willing to love yourself for the person that God created you to be. Perhaps being a St. Mary's woman means having the courage to pick up a tennis ball and learn about new opportunities. As I look out among the graduates, I am filled with pride to graduate with so many wonderful classmates. Congratulations, class of 2019. I am now pleased to introduce Elizabeth Preister.
Can you remember the excitement that you felt during your first day of orientation in your freshman year? My first day was sunny and beautiful, and as we all came together for the closing of the circle ceremony, I recall listening to the stories that were told by rising seniors of the college. They spoke with such a love for St. Mary's, and at that moment, despite walking into the unknown, feeling anxious about leaving my parents, worrying that I signed up to take physics class, and knowing that I was going to be living in a dorm room with no air conditioning for the next 9 months, I realized that I was entering into a network of belonging that is an inspiring and spacious home for a student's imagination, a student's creativity, and a student's dreams. Here, with enduring faculty and friend relationships, we have a sense of meaningful kinship. Facing our firsts, whether it be a small experience or a life-altering event, causes us to cross the threshold of critical thought into new questions and possibilities. We were taught to ask big questions at St. Mary's, questions of meaning and purpose and faith, such as who am I, why am I here, and who do I really want to become? We ask questions that ultimately matter, and our ambitions and aspirations were formed. During the fall of this year, my peers and I in the Communicative Sciences and Disorders major experienced a life-altering first when we entered into our clinical practicum and we were each given our first client. We imagined working with the sweet, cooperative, adorable little 3-year-old. However, we knew that this may not be the case, and we found ourselves preparing for different scenarios and asking an endless array of questions. We would ask, "Professor Lovett, what do I do if my client doesn't want to play the games that I have scheduled?" Or, "Professor Lovett, what do I do if my client climbs into the oven of the toy kitchen set and doesn't want to come out?" And unfortunately, this did happen to one of my classmates. But when the day came to meeting our clients and working with them for the first time, we realized that we were confident and prepared because of our St. Mary's education. The uncertainties that we faced and the questions that we asked were also encountered by the students that first came to St. Mary's 175 years ago. These students came here to enrich their hearts and minds, and they began the many traditions that we carry on today. We have the tradition of receiving our class rings, and we reflect on our friendships and memories that we have made here at the college when we wear them. We have the tradition of opening and closing the circle. We have Saturdays dedicated to Notre Dame football games, and we have midnight breakfast celebrations that give us the excuse to dance on tables, sing as if no one is listening, and distract us from the fact that we have 5 final exams in the next 3 days. And finally, we have the tradition of academic rigor. But as my friend and colleague Natalie mentioned in her address, St. Mary's is not only about the tradition of educating the mind, but also the heart and the soul. And that is what truly matters when working with others and developing relationships. There is a tradition of guiding wisdom and allowing students to explore their talents and gifts and be prepared for our next steps in our journey and the new first encounters that we will face. We now have the courage to wade into adaptive challenges and to be leaders, to inspire people with the vision of what is possible. And in doing so, we will discover that new ideas and possibilities take hold in our imagination. We discover that we have the chance to make a difference. St. Mary's has provided a context in which a new imagination of life and work can be explored, created, and anchored. When we feel nervous as we enter into this new stage of our lives, new atmospheres, new professions, and new responsibilities, we can always turn to our fellow bells and remember what we have learned here. Although it is our time to leave, we do not just leave our memories and our connections behind. Instead, we stretch our relations and our bonds further. As Natalie, Monica, and I read the graduation address to the class of 1860, we realized that the author Mary Dennis spoke of coming to St. Mary's to learn not only of science, but also of God. And in these 4 years, many of us have found that our faith has been shaped and strengthened. We have learned to live a prayerful and reflective life. We have discovered who we are before God, and we have accomplished the underlying goal of the spiritual life by letting God love that person. There is a power in our faith, and although we will be starting our next journey, we will always find the strength that we need through prayer. As we leave the campus and take our final walk down the avenue as undergraduate students, let us always remember what is here, a beautiful campus filled with women who have a love for exploring their own imagination and who follow their dreams. We are now entering into the unknown, but remember, St. Mary's has provided for us the promise of an extraordinary future. For you shall go out in joy and be led forth in peace. The mountains and the hills before you shall break forth into singing, and all the trees of the field shall clap their hands. Congratulations, class of 2019.
Thank you, Natalie, Monica, and Elizabeth. As a student at St. Patrick's Academy in Maryland, Sister Kathleen knew from an early age that she wanted to become a Sister of the Holy Cross. The sisters who taught her recognized her gifts and guided her to a life of faithful service as a member of the congregation. She received a degree in economics and business from St. Mary's College, and after graduation began her career teaching accounting and working in finance. When she was asked to serve in the congregation's healthcare ministry, she found her true calling. As the director of the Secretariat for Pastoral and Community Services for the Archdiocese of Los Angeles, 17 hospitals reported to her. She also spent many years as the vice president for mission at hospitals in Indiana. Sister Kathleen is the longest serving member of the St. Mary's Board of Trustees. She spent 10 years on the Board of Regents and has just completed her 24th year on the Board of Trustees. 6 presidents have benefited from her leadership, especially in the areas of budgetary and investment strategies. Her wise counsel led the college into modern investment strategies and played a vital role in growing the college's endowment and later moving a portion of the college's investments into the Notre Dame investment pool. An advocate of Catholic values in social investing long before it became popular, she never chases yield or reaches for risky returns. She knows that slow and steady wins the investment race. Never shy about voicing her opinions, Sister Kathleen does so with rationality and a deep sense of respect for alternative views. Sister Kathleen treasures her service as a board member and loves today's students. She is impressed by their intellectual achievements and depth of spirituality. Now that she is retired, she looks forward to having her first student in the Friends with Sisters Club. Today, we celebrate Sister Kathleen Riley, CSC, and her countless contributions to St. Mary's College and the Sisters of the Holy Cross. By continually assessing her response to the complex needs and challenges of the world, she has truly made a difference in it. In recognition of her dedicated and faith-filled service to St. Mary's College, I am privileged to honor Sister Kathleen Riley, CSC, by presenting her with the President's Medal.
Thank you very much. I told Dr. Neckfasil that I'm accepting this honor in the name of all the Sisters of the Holy Cross who ever served St. Mary's in its 175th anniversary. I have one thing to say to the class of 2019. You know that Father Moreau founded the Holy Cross congregations in the middle of the 19th century. And he sent them out through the world with a commission to do whatever they needed to do to make it a better place than it was at that time, that the times would be better than it was at that time. Walt Disney had a similar message, and that was go out and change the world because you can. My message to you is go out and change the world because you have a St. Mary's College education, and I know you will put it to good use. I thank you for all the wonderful times that I've had through 30-some years. Go Bells.
Sister Maureen Grady, CSC. Sister Maureen Grady, CSC, embodies the mission of St. Mary's College as she prepares her students for lives of leadership in an increasingly interdependent world. Not only is she an accomplished nurse and scholar, but a passionate teacher who is loved and respected by her students and colleagues. As a Sister of the Holy Cross, she frequently shares her vast knowledge of the Sisters' heritage with her students. Understanding the need to pass on the legacy of the Sisters, she conducts campus cemetery tours. As they visit the graves of the Sisters who served as Civil War nurses and the forerunners of today's Navy nurses, she instills in her students a respect for the past and a zeal for the future. After many assignments in the U.S. healthcare field, specializing in critical care nursing, pastoral healthcare, and nursing education, she spent 20 years in war-torn Lebanon and Syria as the Chief Operating Officer for Catholic Near East Welfare. For her humanitarian work in Lebanon, the Lebanese president awarded her citizenship and Lebanon's highest honor, the equivalent to the U.S. Presidential Medal of Freedom. Among her many other awards is the Medal for the Church and the Pope from the Holy See, conferred for distinguished service to the Church. In her nursing classroom, she developed an innovative approach to teaching therapeutic communication to undergraduate and graduate students. Her communication methodology, which she refers to as TIS, Theme, Invitation, Simple, significantly enhances the ability of her students to communicate with patients and families about difficult topics like death, dying, or spirituality. Students remember her warmth, sense of humor, and well-rounded perspective on nursing, not just as a career, but as an ethical calling. Dr. Nekfasil, for her compassion and courage, and her service to some of the world's most vulnerable people, the Sisters of the Holy Cross and St. Mary's College, I present to you Sister Maureen Grady, CSC, and ask that you, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, confer upon her the degree of Doctor of Humanities honoris causa.
Arabic proverbs offer a depth of wisdom in their description of significant life events, and they give expression to thoughts and feelings when it's difficult to find words. My thoughts and feelings are of gratitude today. To Mary Burke, Chair of the Board of Trustees, and Nancy Nekfasil, President of St. Mary's, I offer the following proverb. The shadow of a noble person is spacious. The meaning is a noble person can take many under her protection. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Nancy, for having been those noble persons for me and for students, faculty, alums, board members,
and so many others. To my family, Sue Ellen, Anne, Suzanne, Kara, and Mia, I repeat to you the ancient proverb, "No road is long with good company." To my Director of Nursing Service, Linda Paskowitz, and for my colleagues in nursing science, I offer this proverb. They said to the mouse, "There is a piece of cheese on the cat's whiskers." The mouse replied, "Yes, the cheese is delicious, but the way to it is risky." Thank you for taking a chance on me and allowing me to be part of nursing science at St. Mary's. Finally, to you graduates, my companions in learning, you who in your years at this magnificent institution have been embraced in the ways of the Spirit, and yet are aware of the ways of the world, I offer a very wise Arabic proverb. Trust in God, but tie up your camel.
Kelly Greer, 91. St. Mary's College is a place that empowers women to make a difference in the world. Kelly Greer took what she learned as a student at St. Mary's and became a woman who exemplifies that empowerment. She graduated with a bachelor's degree in accounting and has kept strong ties with the college and her faculty ever since. She is quick to respond to requests for assistance of any kind and has been known to pop in on accounting class when visiting campus. While still a student at St. Mary's, Greer sees the opportunity to work as an intern with the South Bend White Sox, then the White Sox Single A affiliate team in South Bend. She was offered a full-time position with the team, but she also knew that the White Sox were a client of EY's. She decided to accept a position with EY immediately after graduation and was able to join the engagement team serving the White Sox. In her 28-year career with EY, she has steadily risen through the ranks. She gained international experience by working in Zurich, Switzerland for 4 years as coordinating partner of the Europe, Middle East, and Africa regions for a Fortune 500 client. In her latest position, she serves as the U.S. chairman and managing partner and EY's America's managing partner. As the first woman to lead the firm, she manages more than 72,000 people in 31 countries. Beyond her work with EY, Greer devotes herself to a variety of educational, civic, and professional causes. She is a trustee of the Ravinia Festival Board of Directors and Skills for Chicago's Future. She previously served as a director of the Children's Home and Aid Society and as a director of the Chicago Finance Exchange. She has been a member of the U.S. Department of Commerce National Advisory Council on Innovation and Entrepreneurship and has been recognized by the World Economic Forum as a young global leader. In 2018, she was named as one of Fortune magazine's 2018 Most Powerful Women in Business. Dr. Neckvissel, I present to you Kelly Greer and ask that you, on behalf of the Board of Trustees of St. Mary's College, confer upon her the degree of Doctor of Humanities honoris causa.
You're welcome. Oh my goodness, it'll be back, I promise. Thank you so much, Professor Vitalik, for that introduction, and to President Nekvasil, as well as Chairman Burke, for this tremendous honor. I can already feel myself getting smarter. I am absolutely thrilled to be here, and I want to say a special thanks to Professor Merriman and to Professor Renshaw, who were both instrumental in my studies so many years ago. Professor Renshaw couldn't be here today, but I understand that he's watching the live feed, and I would like to send a special thanks to Professor Renshaw, who 30 years ago believed in me, and I would not be here today if it were not for him. I would be grateful if you would put your hands together for Professor Renshaw and all of the other professors who've made a difference in your lives. I'd also like to extend my congratulations to Sister Maureen Grady and Sister Kathleen Riley for earning such well-deserved honors today for their remarkable accomplishments. And to the valedictorians, Natalie, Monica, and Elizabeth, congratulations on your amazing achievements. It's inspiring to see the impacts you're already having on the world. To the parents of the class of 2019, congratulations on graduating your daughters into the strongest job market we've had in over 50 years. Your timing 23 years ago was impeccable. And of course, a heartfelt congratulations to the class of 2019. Please, they deserve a round of applause, a hearty one at that. It really is great to be back at St. Mary's. This is such a special place, and I am truly honored to have the opportunity to be with you during this particularly momentous year, the 175th anniversary of St. Mary's founding. It's hard to believe that 28 years ago to the day, I sat in your seats, in my gown, in disbelief that I was about to walk across this very graduation stage. I remember feeling a whirlwind of emotions: excitement, optimism, nostalgia. It was a proud moment. But I also remember sitting there, looking up at the podium, and feeling very, very anxious. I was about to leave the safety of St. Mary's and head off into the big, wide world. And I had no idea what my life would look like outside of the confines of St. Mary's. And I was fortunate that I'd already lined up my job with EY. I would start in the fall. But I had come from very humble beginnings, and I had put myself through college, including having taken out a lot of student debt to do so. Failure was not an option. So there I sat in your seats, excited and yet very anxious. Some of you may have that very same mix of excitement and anxiety right now. And as I stand here today, I wish I could reach back in time and tell that anxious 21-year-old version of myself something that I now know to be true. You have everything you need to succeed. Though you might not realize it yet, the gifts you've received from St. Mary's have made you rich beyond any financial measure, and they are gifts that will last a lifetime. Like all schools, St. Mary's has gone through many changes over the years. But today I'm not here to talk about change. You've got plenty of that waiting for you at the end of this ceremony. Instead, I'd like to talk about all of the things about St. Mary's that haven't changed, the foundations of tradition, the elm trees that still line the avenue as you drive down it, the faith that binds the St. Mary's community together, and most importantly, the enduring gifts of a St. Mary's education. Today, I want to talk about three of those gifts: values, curiosity, and friendship. They're defining features of a St. Mary's education, and they're the attributes that have grounded me and guided me ever since I walked across this graduation stage 28 years ago. And they're the same qualities that will sustain you as you set off on your life's adventures, whether you know it now or not. This year, like every year, we're among graduating students who have done some incredible things. Look no farther than the three remarkable women sharing the stage with me. During their time at St. Mary's, Natalie, Monica, and Elizabeth have conducted research on everything from the effectiveness of therapies for Down syndrome populations to the cyclical nature of addiction recovery and relapse. And that's nothing to say of their extraordinary achievements in the classroom. I know many of you have similar stories. These accomplishments speak to something incredible and deeply rooted in St. Mary's, something that stayed true about this place for all 175 years: the strength and longevity of its values. That's the first gift of a St. Mary's education, the values it imparts to every student. From the day of its founding, St. Mary's has been a values-driven institution. It's a place committed to making the world a better and more compassionate place. I could feel it from the moment I set foot on campus. Having arrived from a very small town in Minnesota, I was embraced by the St. Mary's community, the same as everyone else. In classrooms, in dorm rooms, in the dining hall, I saw these values in action by the entire St. Mary's community, and I'll bet that you've seen the same. In a world as divided and divisive as ours, having a strong sense of these values is going to be deeply important, arguably more important today for this generation in this political climate than they were even 3 decades ago. Over the course of my career, these values have been my guiding force during moments of conflict and disagreement. They've taught me to treat everyone around me with empathy and compassion. They've encouraged me to open my mind to different perspectives. And in turn, they've made me a stronger thinker, a better friend, and a more compassionate leader. This is one of my favorite things about St. Mary's, and it's something I don't think will ever change. At St. Mary's, our values are woven into the fabric of our community. They're hardwired into everything that we do, and it's what makes me so proud to be a St. Mary's alumna. It's an invaluable gift that you will take with you as you leave St. Mary's, but what you do with that gift is up to you. Your actions are an expression of your values, and I'll share with you what I share with my EY family. You don't get to choose whether or not you're a role model. As a St. Mary's graduate, you are a role model. The only thing you get to choose is what kind of role model you're going to be. And I encourage you to choose wisely. The second gift is the gift of curiosity. I learned a lot of things when I was a student at St. Mary's, and like you, I took a lot of classes on various topics. But I'll be honest, and I'll know that this is hard for my professors to hear, but by now I've forgotten many of the details. What I remember instead were the rigorous debates that we had in the classroom, learning from each other and wanting to learn more, that insatiable sense of curiosity that St. Mary's instilled in me. The most instructive thing that I learned here was how to learn and how important it is to keep learning, to ask questions, and to listen intently. In my own life, this passion for learning has translated into so many varied and rich experiences. It's helped me stay ahead of the curve during my time at EY, and it's encouraged me to embrace change rather than to fear it. That constant willingness and desire to learn will be one of the greatest assets of your life, no matter what your career path. Because graduation is not the end of your education, far from it. Let me assure you that you will never arrive at a place in your life or career where you can't learn more. That's especially true now in a world that's moving at warp speed. Anything you master today is likely to change tomorrow. You'll never hone a perfect set of skills for every situation. So instead, commit yourself to mastering the art of learning. It's the active imaginations, the relentlessly curious minds who have created this new world and who will continue to create our future. Whether you're creating change, harnessing it, or leading through it, curiosity is the single most important experiential attribute that anyone can have today. And lucky for you, it's an essential element of a St. Mary's education. The third and final gift of a St. Mary's education is the gift of friendship. As I've said already, St. Mary's is a very special place. It's a small, close-knit community that embraces its members as family and cultivates a sense of belonging. It's that sense of belonging and kinship that often gives rise to the closest friendships you'll ever have. In fact, some of my best friends, those who sat next to me during my own graduation right here in 1991, are actually with me today. These friendships have sustained me over the many challenges and successes that I've experienced over the last 28 years. My St. Mary's friends have loved me and treated me exactly the same, whether I was working in the dining hall or now as I lead a nearly $20 billion firm. Their friendships have transcended geographic proximity, remaining equally strong whether I live down the street or on the other side of the world. Trust me when I tell you that you need these friendships like you need oxygen. You need these few essential people in your lives who will tell you, you have something in your teeth. Your makeup is smudged. That skirt is way too short. You're overprocessing your hair. That guy's a buffoon. It's time to move on. And most importantly, yes, your butt looks big in those jeans. Although I have to say my 19-year-old son has told me that that can actually be a compliment. So perhaps it's, yes, your butt looks big in those jeans. These are also the people who will tell you in your darkest moments, it's going to be okay. Or maybe it's not going to be okay, but you're going to get through it together. They will accompany you on the journey to adulthood, now as you leave St. Mary's, and they will keep you young with laughter as the arc of your life bends forward. Trust me when I tell you the gift of friendship is the most valuable St. Mary's gift of all. These friends are my tribe. And as fellow St. Mary's alumna, we are all part of the same tribe. We are St. Mary's. When you leave, you take this wonderful place with you. It lives in your heart and in your memories, and it lives in the friendships that you take with you. That deep sense of belonging has never left me. It's why coming back here feels like coming home. And it's why for many of you, graduating today will feel a bit like leaving home. I know that from where you're sitting now, the future can look pretty daunting. You'll never really know what comes next. But I can tell you for me, that sense of belonging, of being anchored in the St. Mary's community, was what helped me overcome my anxiety 28 years ago and achieve things I never could have imagined possible. Now, I'd like to think my words have been burned permanently in your memory, but I'm nothing if not a realist, and I honestly don't remember who delivered the commencement speech 28 years ago for my own graduation, never mind a word they said. So when you leave this place with that diploma in hand, if you remember nothing else, remember this. You are blessed with these invaluable gifts. Take them with you. Hold them sacred. Know deep in your heart and in your mind, you are ready to take on whatever the world throws at you. Because the gifts of a St. Mary's education will last a lifetime, and the world needs leaders like you now more than ever. Congratulations again, class of 2019.
President Nekvasil, I present to you the candidates for the graduate degrees in course. I certify that they have fulfilled all the requirements for their particular degrees, and I ask that you, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, and with the recommendation of the faculty of St. Mary's College, confer upon them the degree which each has earned.
Audience, out of respect for each graduate, please hold your applause until all graduate diplomas have been awarded so that everyone may hear their name as it is announced. For the degree of Doctor of Nursing Practice, Sydney Marie Freeman. Anna Catherine Person. Daniel Harrison Petrie. Carrie Ann Dooley Petaway. Catherine Duffy Shaw. The degree of Master of Science is conferred upon Shelby Lynn Arms, Speech Language Pathology. Krista Atsiaya, Speech Language Pathology. Jessica Lee Bauman, Speech Language Pathology. Alexis K. Blevins, Speech Language Pathology. Mary Margaret Kennedy, Speech Language Pathology. Grace Ann Connolly, Speech Language Pathology. Darcy Nicole Cowley Zach, Speech Language Pathology. Allison Rose Cox, Speech Language Pathology. Margaret Therese Davis, Speech Language Pathology. Kelsey Elizabeth Dealis, Speech Language Pathology. Heather Ann Donovan, Speech Language Pathology, in absentia. Amber Noel Dykstra, Speech Language Pathology. Lauren Maria Faso, Speech Language Pathology. Carly Elizabeth Faduska, Speech Language Pathology. Elise Maria Fisher, Speech Language Pathology. Masarakufa Gumiro, Data Science. Rachel Ann Hale, Speech Language Pathology. Kayla Jane Eisenbarger, Speech Language Pathology. Josie Lynn Johnson, Speech Language Pathology. Kaylee Lynn Kubiak, Speech Language Pathology. Alexandra Ray Lertola, Speech Language Pathology. Catherine O'Neill Looney, Speech Language Pathology. Pauline Mary Lopez, Speech Language Pathology. Elaine McVicker Lynch, Speech Language Pathology. Olivia Ortiz, Speech Language Pathology. Alyssa Jean Parrott, Speech Language Pathology. Jessica Irene Skelton, Speech Language Pathology. Lindsay Ann Slavinsky, Speech Language Pathology. Anna Gloria Stankovich, Speech Language Pathology. Christina Rose Whitmer, Speech Language Pathology. Shannon Wolf, Speech Language Pathology.
President Nekfasil, I present to you the candidates for the undergraduate degrees in course. I certify that they have fulfilled all the requirements for their particular degrees, and I ask that you, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, and with the recommendation of the faculty of St. Mary's College, confer upon them the degree which each has earned.
Audience, out of respect for each graduate, please try to contain your applause and enthusiasm until all undergraduate diplomas have been awarded so everyone may hear their names as it is announced. And when I pause for the airplane, it's so that everyone can hear their name being announced. The degree of Bachelor of Arts is conferred upon Ashlyn Ahern, Art. Mar E. Selva Albaran Hernandez, Communicative Sciences and Disorders and Spanish. Elaine Alba, English Literature and Writing. magna cum laude. Madeline Alexander, history. Megan Marie Allen, English, writing, and art, cum laude. Sarah Elizabeth Allen, history and political science. Jacqueline Amador, computing and applied mathematics. Sarah Rafia Ehrman, political science. Jennifer Aravalo, psychology. Lolita Avalos, global studies and Spanish. Londi Stacy Avila, psychology, cum laude. Sam Ayala, physics, cum laude. Rosemarie Alejandra Baldonado, global studies. Angeline Barthel, global studies and Spanish, magna cum laude. Emily Grace Beatty, elementary education, magna cum laude. Caroline Nicole Blue, communication studies, magna cum laude. Euphemia Cassandra Boliakis, communication studies. Casey Lynn Bounds, communicative sciences and disorders, summa cum laude. Angela Lee Bozick, psychology, magna cum laude. Teresa Rose Bricky, global studies and English writing. Abigail Bridegroom, psychology. Kaylee Lynn Briggs, elementary education, summa cum laude. Catherine Margaret Brown, communicative sciences and disorders, magna cum laude. Sarah Ann Brumbaugh, mathematics and secondary education, cum laude. Courtney Ann Buckley, political science, magna cum laude. Anna Marie Burns, English literature and secondary education, summa cum laude. Anna Dominique Carpenter, communication studies, magna cum laude. Deirdre Rose Colley, English writing and philosophy, cum laude. Francesca James Cervoni, philosophy. Victoria Ann Chandler, English writing and global studies. Clara Chang, global studies, magna cum laude. Shay Morgan Christensen, communicative sciences and disorders, cum laude. Anne Marie Claire, elementary education. Zoe Ellen Clay, political science and gender and women's studies. Leticia Covarrubias, Spanish and secondary education, magna cum laude. Jordan Elizabeth Cockram, communication studies and humanistic studies, cum laude. Joanna Collins, sociology. Evelyn Rose Cornwell, global studies, summa cum laude. Haley Marie Sinarich, communication studies. Fabiola Cruz, sociology. Eileen Kulina, global studies in absentia. Basha Gallardo Tchaikovsky, psychology. Monica Marie Davy, communication studies, cum laude. Carly Dagard, psychology, cum laude. Katie Marie Desitel, communication studies. Molly Ruth Diener, religious studies. Emily Dilworth, communicative sciences and disorders, magna cum laude. Natalie Christina Dock, communicative sciences and disorders, summa cum laude and co-valedictorian. Grace Donnelly, art, cum laude. Hannah Elizabeth Draddy, communication studies. E.V. Dundon, communication studies, cum laude. Diana Elia, communication studies. Hannah Grace Falter, art. Anna Sophia Pfizer, English literature and writing. Mary Shannon Fitzgibbons, communication studies. Mary Kate Carol Foley, communication studies. Naomi Foster, political science. Catherine Grace Franz, elementary education, magna cum laude. Lauren Kelly Gambino, political science and history, cum laude. Maria Alicia Garza, economics. Emma Louise Gettinger, music, magna cum laude. Megan Elizabeth Gill, elementary education, cum laude. Kara Ozetta Givens, art. Elizabeth Helen Glazer, Communication Studies. Michaela Gahn, Sociology, magna cum laude. Catherine Ann Grady, English Literature and Writing and Communication Studies, summa cum laude. Allison McKee Graves, Elementary Education, magna cum laude. Megan Emily Gray, Economics. Haley Marie Green, Elementary Education, summa cum laude. Alicia Lynn Grumley, English Literature. Grace Leellen Hazy, English Writing and Music, summa cum laude. Sarah Ann Hansen, Physics. Riley Aaron Harbor, English Writing and French, summa cum laude. Hannah Margaret Hardiman, Communicative Sciences and Disorders and Spanish, summa cum laude. Emily Veronica Harris, English Writing. Brianna Marie Hart, Communicative Sciences and Disorders. Reagan Marie Hattersley, Theater and Communication Studies, cum laude. Lori Henderson, Humanistic Studies. Paige Brianna Horwath, Communicative Sciences and Disorders, cum laude. Ashley Havorka, Political Science, Spanish, and History, summa cum laude. Anna Marie Irons, Mathematics and Secondary Education. Alexandra Levi Lopez Jacobson, Art, cum laude. Stephanie Johnson, Theater, summa cum laude. Allie Leah Johnston, Psychology and Humanistic Studies, cum laude. Alyssa Kylie Jones, Art and Communication Studies, magna cum laude. Kendrick Joseph, Psychology. Alyssa Nicole Kamide, Communicative Sciences and Disorders, cum laude. Christina Keenan, Communication Studies. Isabel Keener, Political Science, magna cum laude. Taylor Kehoe, Communication Studies. Caroline Duffy Kennedy, Elementary Education. Ellen Killian, Communication Studies, magna cum laude. Catherine Jones Kirkpatrick, Communication Studies. Shelby Morgan Knopp, Political Science and Global Studies, cum laude. Megan Lynn Knudsen, Elementary Education, magna cum laude. Elizabeth Sydney Kokniarchek, Communication Studies. Mackenzie Ann Krieg, Psychology. Daisy Olivia Kupiak, Physics. Riley Marie LaPrairie, Communication Studies. Shelby Ann Leib, Elementary Education. Emma Catherine Lewis, Communicative Sciences and Disorders and Sociology. Shalpei Jenny Liu, Music and Philosophy, cum laude. Libby Lockwood, Communication Studies. Jordan Loma, Psychology and Gender and Women's Studies, magna cum laude. Catherine Elizabeth Lucas, Communication Studies and Political Science, cum laude. Megan Danielle Macias, Communicative Sciences and Disorders, cum laude. Caroline Margaret Macias, Elementary Education. Meredith Grace Makowitz, Communicative Sciences and Disorders, summa cum laude. Ashlyn Elizabeth Mays, Global Studies and Spanish, magna cum laude. Acacia Malone, Psychology. Hope Jensen Marinkovich, Art and Communication Studies, magna cum laude. Lauren Catherine Mattil, Communication Studies. Elizabeth Carolyn McCarthy, Communicative Sciences and Disorders, cum laude. Rachel Lee McCarthy, Psychology, magna cum laude. Carrie Rose McDonald, Communication Studies, summa cum laude. Christina Marie Teresa McGuire, Elementary Education, cum laude. Anne Elizabeth McHugh, Global Studies, magna cum laude. Maeve McMahon, Political Science and Global Studies. Madeline Ann McTurnan, Psychology, magna cum laude. Michelle Ann Mihalis, Art, magna cum laude. Patricia Nicole Mesa, Elementary Education, cum laude. Stacy Alexis Minifield, Communicative Sciences and Disorders. Emily Claire Miran, Communicative Sciences and Disorders, summa cum laude. Cameron Rose Moore, Global Studies. Madeline Morrison, Communication Studies. Megan Elizabeth Modelenich, Elementary Education. Anna Patience Mullock, Communicative Sciences and Disorders, magna cum laude. Megan Colleen Murney, Psychology. Victoria Page Murphy, Communication Studies. Michaela Waria Machundi, Communication Studies. Maura Elizabeth Newell, Communication Studies and Political Science, cum laude. Francesca Newadomski, English Literature and Secondary Education, magna cum laude, in absentia. Paige Elizabeth O'Brien, Elementary Education, summa cum laude. Kathy Ann Ogden, Elementary Education, cum laude. Iman Zanelli Omar, Communication Studies, in absentia. Molly Rose O'Neill, Elementary Education. Alana Margaret O'Shea, Communication Studies. Melissa Palencia, Humanistic Studies and Spanish. Abigail Nicole Parsons, Psychology. Aubrey Navarre Penn, Psychology, cum laude. Emily Peppers, Communicative Sciences and Disorders. Elizabeth Ann Preister, Communicative Sciences and Disorders, summa cum laude and co-valedictorian. Jessica Purvis, Communicative Sciences and Disorders. Mackenzie Akiko Quinn, Statistical and Actuarial Mathematics. Elizabeth Ramirez, Communicative Sciences and Disorders. Ana Gabrielle Reyes, Psychology. Kimberly Nicole Rodriguez, English Writing. Caitlin Jane Rogers, Art. Jacqueline Nicole Rolinski, Sociology. Eliza Simone Rose, Global Studies. Julia Marie Rudloff, Music. Gwendolyn Sayeski, History in absentia. Natalie Salgado, Psychology and Spanish, cum laude. Mary Patricia Slomer, Communication Studies. Kirsten Nicole Seward, Communication Studies. Kathleen Elizabeth Schaefer, Psychology and History, cum laude. Alicia Shepley Minner, Psychology. Rebecca Sidler, Communicative Sciences and Disorders, cum laude. Sydney Silvera, English Literature. Anna Corinne Brunet Slusser, Psychology. Magna cum laude. Emily Snyder, Political Science. Hannah Christine Spencer, Statistical and Actuarial Mathematics, magna cum laude. Emily Louise Spybrook, Global Studies, summa cum laude. Kaylee Swartz, Communication Studies. Leslie Ray Talbert, Communication Studies. Megan Elizabeth Temple, History and Secondary Education, cum laude. Haley Micaiah Transier, Art. Maura Rose Trausch, Communication Studies. Alicia Twizzleman, Psychology. Molly Elizabeth Vogely, English Writing and French, cum laude. Megan Walsh, Communicative Sciences and Disorders. Grace Ward, Communication Studies. Sarah Webby, English Writing and History, magna cum laude. Savannah Wiseman, Psychology. Sydney Jane Woodman, Communicative Sciences and Disorders, summa cum laude. Hannah Michael Wozniak, Psychology. Gabriel Mary Jo Zaremba, Mathematics and Secondary Education, cum laude. Okay. Now for the degree of Bachelor of Business in Administration. Sydney Marie Bartecki, Business Administration. Melanie Bausch, Accounting, cum laude. Olivia Brown, Business Administration. Grace Isabel Burchett, Accounting. Lee Chen, Business Administration, magna cum laude. Catherine Angela Clare, Business Administration. Juliana De Ona, Business Administration. Abigail Elishaba Fleming, Business Administration. Madeline Elizabeth Flynn, Business Administration, cum laude. Breonna Foley, Business Administration. Angela Marie Freda, Business Administration. Alexandra Gallus, Business Administration, cum laude. Samantha Giesland, Business Administration. Mary Christine Gelder, Business Administration, cum laude. For her second degree, Emma Louise Gettinger, Business Administration, magna cum laude. Olivia Griggs, Accounting, magna cum laude, in absentia. Megan Elizabeth Hall, Business Administration. Mackenzie Cassidy Hammond, Business Administration, cum laude. Crystal Marie Harris, Business Administration, magna cum laude. Amy Hendrickson, Business Administration. Marta Teresa Herman, Business Administration, cum laude. Christine Angela Kelly, Business Administration. Anna Claire Kerper, Business Administration. Caitlin Elizabeth King, Accounting, cum laude. Meredith Rose Kisla, Accounting. Anissa Elizabeth Lazoff, Business Administration. Elena Kate Lazoff, Business Administration. Lauren Leahy, Business Administration, magna cum laude. Audrey Lynn Masuga, Business Administration. Sarah Elizabeth Majeski, Accounting. Erin Kathleen Maloney, Accounting, magna cum laude. Macy Elizabeth Martin, Business Administration, magna cum laude. Carly Matashevsky, Business Administration. Madeline Jo Moeller, Accounting. Hannah Nation, Business Administration, cum laude. Lauren Natkin, Business Administration, cum laude, in absentia. Ashley Nicholas, Accounting, magna cum laude. Brianna Marie Nichols, Accounting. Abigail Scanlon, Business Administration, magna cum laude. Emily Megan Schulte, Accounting, magna cum laude. Alexandra Renee Steve, accounting, magna cum laude, in absentia. Sonia Torres Martinez, accounting, summa cum laude. Catherine Emily Triolo, accounting. Shamika Turner, business administration. Julia Vium, business administration, magna cum laude. Ashley Walter, business administration. Alexandra Ward, business administration. Alyssa Wansky, business administration, magna cum laude. Elizabeth Jordan Zerwinski, accounting. The degree of Bachelor of Fine Arts is conferred upon Tess Lessick, art, cum laude. The degree of Bachelor of Science is conferred upon Summer Marie Aiken, chemistry. Georgia Rose Albino, biology, magna cum laude. Eva Anderson, mathematics. Darby Marie Auckland, biology, summa cum laude. Alyssa Axe, biology, magna cum laude. Nicole Elizabeth Blaha, biology, magna cum laude. Nicole Marie Blandon, mathematics, magna cum laude. Zoe Considine Bruni, biology. Mary Catherine Cushon, mathematics. Jessica Lynn Clark, biology. Emma Faith Conroy, biology. Madeline Marie Corcoran, mathematics, magna cum laude. Audrey Starr Louise Cross, mathematics. Inez Anna Dade, biology. Emily Margot Dalsgaard, biology. Ellen Davis, biology. Heather DeLallo, chemistry, magna cum laude. Kira Dvorak, chemistry. Maria Paula Escobedo, statistical and actuarial mathematics. Bridget Farraher, biology. Kirsten Therese Favazzo, chemistry, magna cum laude. Gaju Gatera, Computing and Applied Mathematics, in absentia. Siobhan Margaret Gilligan, Biology. Yadira Gonzalez, Biology. Monica Humphrey, Statistical and Actuarial Mathematics, cum laude. Elizabeth Esther Innes, Chemistry. Ellen Madeline Johnson, Biology, cum laude. Sophia Lynn Johnson, Biology, cum laude. Linnea Marie Larson, Biology. Sarah Renee Law, Biology, cum laude. Sheila Lawler, Chemistry, magna cum laude. Rachel Kathleen Leonard, Biology. Laurel Ann Lown, Biology, cum laude. Noreen Ella Maloney, Chemistry. Carmela Laura Marciano, Biology. Erica Mayette Draper, Biology. Erin Margaret McClung, Computing and Applied Mathematics. Catherine Ann McGowan, Biology and Global Studies. Monica Louise McGrath, Statistical and Actuarial Mathematics, summa cum laude and co-valedictorian. Grace McNamee, Chemistry. Adrian Marie Milos, Biology, magna cum laude. Jordan Hadley Myers, Biology. Nicole Marie Nemeth, Biology and Secondary Education, summa cum laude. Abigail Ann O'Loughlin, Biology. Kelsey Elizabeth O'Toole, Biology. Gina Eileen Passarello, Mathematics, cum laude. Emily Christine Pervinich, Biology, cum laude. Mary Olivia Philbin, Biology. Monica Ann Rains, Biology, cum laude. Alana Deborah Richmond, Biology. Gretchen Isabel Schramko, Mathematics. Michaela Marie Whitman Shunk, Statistical and Actuarial Mathematics. Paige Schur, biology and psychology. Sophia Fitzgerald Scott, mathematics. Anna Claire Shadid, chemistry, magna cum laude. Audrey Rose Shannon, statistical and actuarial mathematics, summa cum laude. Heather Anne-Marie Shepard, biology. Erica Ray Slogar, chemistry, cum laude. Mary Kate Starner, biology and psychology. Molly Elise Stout, biology. Allison Jean Sweeney, biology, magna cum laude. Hannah Toe, physics and applied mathematics. Anna Marie Tercy, computing and applied mathematics. Hannah Christine Voss, biology, magna cum laude. Lauren Whalen, physics and applied mathematics. Yay, Gwen. Lilius Marie Zusai, biology and English literature, magna cum laude. Now, the degree of Bachelor of Science in Nursing is conferred upon Allison Clara Backus, nursing. Megan Kathleen Baker, nursing. Anna Renee Barron, nursing, cum laude. Grace Catherine Barrett, nursing. Josephine Gillis Bruni, nursing. Emma Rose Carey, nursing. Madeline Grace Culligan, nursing. Maureen Diane Doherty, nursing. Adele Christian Edmonds, nursing. Zainab Mohammed El Husseini, nursing, summa cum laude. Hannah Leanne Fishman, nursing. Lindy Nicole Freund, nursing. Claire Ann Guffey, nursing. Darby Celeste Horn, nursing, cum laude. Kate Margaret Kelly, nursing, magna cum laude. Madeline Jean Leahy Castelny, nursing, cum laude. Taylor Jennifer Kruger, nursing. Chloe Ilona Krupchak, nursing. Paige Elise Lancaster, nursing. Sarah Marie Lochran, nursing, cum laude. Margaret Irene Malarney, nursing. Sarah Mead, nursing. Victoria Madison Millar, nursing. Nora Elizabeth Napleton, nursing, cum laude. Caitlin Mary O'Rourke, nursing. Annabelle Grace Paulson. Basha Pavlitsa, nursing. Anna Rose Perry, nursing. Joanna Marie Pinto, nursing. Rachel Pritchett, nursing, cum laude. Lauren Nicole Ritchie, nursing. Maura Byrne Ryan, nursing. Samantha Lydia Schickel, nursing, cum laude. Riley Marie Schlase, nursing. Elizabeth Schwagel, nursing. Allison Paige Sobatke, nursing. Catherine Lynn Sosnowski, nursing, magna cum laude. Rebecca Maria Tessitore, nursing. Gina Lavana Thornton, nursing, magna cum laude. Bridget Rose Usher, nursing. Emma Veely, nursing. Abigail Lynn Yuka, nursing. The degree of Bachelor of Social Work is conferred upon Molly Jude Buck, Social Work. Mary Carper, Social Work, cum laude. Haley Lynn Coughlin, Social Work. Isala Natalie Garcilaso, Social Work. Dorinda Hackworth, Social Work. Jane Henry, Social Work. Brita Mary Moran, Social Work. Madeline Rhinesmith, Social Work. Haley Shaw, Social Work.
Dear class of 2019, you came to St. Mary's 4 years ago and brought with you many gifts and talents. For the past 4 years, you have shared your talents with us, the college community. You have performed in O'Laughlin in the Little Theater. You have played on the athletic fields and courts. You have presented your comprehensive research projects and participated in discussions inside and outside the classroom. You have made us so proud as we've watched you grow and develop and realize success along your journey here. If you have learned only one thing from your time at St. Mary's, I hope it is that we are all called to something greater than ourselves. We have an obligation to use the talents given to us by God, and we must use our gifts to lift others up, to learn something new and better ourselves, and to pave the way for other women coming behind us to find their place in the world. Today is one of those days when you find yourself filled with emotion. You are very, very happy to have graduated, but at the same time, sad to leave, I would suspect. And sad to leave your friends, faculty, others who have maybe been instrumental in helping you along the way, some of the sisters, and yet you also recognize that it's time to move on. So it's a strange kind of tug of war, kind of a bittersweet place to be. Today, when you are surrounded by your loved ones, all here to celebrate with you on this momentous occasion, you really are not yet fully aware of the magnitude of the gift that has been given to you in your 4 years at St. Mary's. And I think Kelly spoke very eloquently about that. This is the gift that has helped you become the strong women with strong voices that you have become. Sister Madaleva Wolf, our famous poet president, has a quote carved in stone at the Welcome Center. It is a quote about discovery, which I'm sure you all know. But today I think the first part of the quote really relates to you. Here is what she wrote. "We will not promise you happiness. We will not wish you security. For we remember that security is mortal's chiefest enemy, and we know that you can be secure only when you can stand everything that can happen to you. If your school has prepared you for this, it has been a good school. St. Mary's did not lie to you. In fact, through Sister Madaleva, it did the one thing that many institutions are afraid to do, and that is to tell the truth. Sister Madaleva didn't promise any of you happiness or security or an easy way through anything, because those are actually not the things that help us grow and develop in character and live our lives. You will live your best life by using the lessons you have learned inside and outside the classrooms here, and by harnessing that strength you have found deep within you as you have withstood those trials and challenges. Gratitude, graduates, in just a moment I'm going to ask you to stand and say thank you, expressing your gratitude to the parents, grandparents, friends, guardians, whoever has helped you get through your 4 years here. Those of you that are graduates, in the same way those that have supported you through your graduate study. I do ask that you remain standing and facing your family even after you have waved and thrown kisses to your loved ones. Okay, everyone, please stand. If you can find your families, I want you to wave at them, blow kisses, tell them thank you. And now, graduates, if you would please extend your hands toward your family, your friends, your supporters in life. I would like us to bless them today. Loving Creator, please bless the paths that lie ahead of these women and bless those who have helped them get here today. We thank you for the strength they have found along the way. We thank you for what you have done in helping them find that strength. Continue to give us wisdom as we guide these graduates. And thank you for all that these family members have done in support of us, friends in support of us, guardians in support of us. We thank you, Lord. Amen. Graduates, you may be seated. St. Mary's women, members of the class of 2019, take what you have learned here at St. Mary's, go into the world, and use your many gifts to make a real difference, to change the world into a better place for those who follow. Do not be afraid to raise your voice, to lift up the marginalized, to stretch out your arms to reassure the fearful, or to walk in confidence when those you encounter are alone. Your opportunity is now. Congratulations to all of you.
This ceremony will end with the recession. The stage party will exit first and students will follow. Students will end the recession in front of a Laughlin auditorium. Audience members, please remain in your seats until the recession is complete. First, will the graduates please stand and sing The Bells of St. Mary's, led by graduating senior Xiaopei Jenny Liu. There's words.
Oh, awesome.
Your you.